Hi guys, it's Mandy here, coming to you from my bed because I am really ill and I cannot get out of bed, so I am recording this from my bed. So guys, I wanted to talk to you about something which sort of blew my mind today, which was yesterday I was in bed and I recently started reading the Bible, and I was sitting there thinking, why is there no description of Jesus in the Bible? And I was sitting here going, sort of verbally saying this out loud, going, why is there no description of Jesus in the Bible? Of all the people, you'd think describing Jesus would be, like, of the utmost important, like, detail in the Bible. And it's really weird that this morning I woke up at, like, 5 in the morning, and I was, like, not feeling very well, and I had to take a pill and everything else. But I couldn't get back to sleep, so I was reading the Bible again, and I came across this passage that I think it's in Revelations, I believe. Let me see if I can find it. So I got this King James copy of the King James Bible. It's probably in reverse right now, but here you go. In Revelations, and at the beginning of Revelations, it actually has a description of Jesus, very brief description of Jesus right here. There you go. And I turned to see the voice that spake with me, and being turned I saw 7 golden candlesticks, and in the midst of the 7 candlesticks one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. So that there is a description of Jesus in Revelations. But that's not the only description of Jesus, actually, because it actually describes Jesus in his actual form in heaven as the Lamb of God. Now, if you've not heard this description before, you better prepare yourself, because it's very, very different from what you're expecting. You're expecting Jesus to appear like that as a man. He ain't going to appear to you as a man. Okay, so here we go. So excuse my croakiness, by the way, because I've got a bad throat. Where is it? And here we go. Here we are. And I beheld, and lo, in the midst of the throne of the 4 beasts, and in the midst of the elders, stood a lamb, as it had been slain, having 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God sent forth into all the earth. And he came and took the book out of the right hand of him that sat upon the throne. Okay, now, I'm not going to go into the whole, description of it all, but it's like that there, and I read the whole passage from start to finish to see whether or not I was tripping or something. I was just not so, and I didn't misunderstand it, but, that there is a description of Jesus in his actual form in heaven. It's like he is the literal Lamb of God, and he has 7 eyes and 7 horns, and yeah, it's very weird. So, and I actually googled it, and yeah, that's actually who he is. That's what he is. So when you go up to heaven, you're probably not going to see Jesus as you know him as a man on the cross. He's probably going to appear to you as a lamb with 7 eyes and 7 horns. So, yeah, that's going to be weird. Yeah, so that was really weird, the fact that, last night I was sitting here going, why is there no description of Jesus in the Bible, blah, blah, blah. You actually get 2 descriptions of him, and one of them is what he actually looks like. In his form in heaven. And so, I mean, because of the fact that he is constantly referred to as the Lamb of God, so that lamb there is who he is. or what it is, should I say. Yeah, I just had like, my mind was just like, ask and you shall receive an answer. You ask a question to God and he will usually answer you. He won't necessarily answer you right away, but he will answer you. So, excuse me, but you've got to sort of be patient, and yeah, he will answer you eventually. So, but yeah, mind blown. Also, I just want to point out the fact that, and this is another thing that sort of weirded me out, was the fact that when I was a very young girl, I went through a phase of doodling eyes, like, all over the place. I used to doodle, like, eyes all over everything. And I remember I was, I think I've still got it somewhere in my art folder at home, that I have this sheet of paper that has, like, a load of eyes that I doodled on it, and I had written, like, "We are watching you, we can see you," and something like that on it. And then I started drawing really weird creatures with loads of eyes all over them. And then I found out that actually God's angels are these creatures with loads of eyes all over them. And I'm like, okay, this is really weird. So, yeah, I mean, you get some very strange connections to biblical creatures and, your questions being answered sometimes. And it's like, because for a long time I didn't believe in God per se. I didn't disbelieve, but I didn't believe. I was more, what's the word? Is it agnostic? Is that the word? So it's not atheist, but it's agnostic, I think it is. I was more agnostic than I was religious, and I didn't really sort of fully believe, but I believed in something. I believed, when I was younger, it was more sort of like more like believing in the Force, as it were, because I just, I wasn't really all down with the notion of a big guy with a beard and everything, and I was just like, So you know what? All these weird creatures popping up in the Bible, and I'm like, actually, maybe. But at the same time, I'm a bit sort of like, what are these guys on when they wrote the Bible? Not to be disrespectful, but it does sort of make you think these guys must have been on something. High on God, I suppose. High on the love of God. I don't know. But anyway, I'm just I'm just blabbing right now. So anyway, this was just my little video for today, and I hope you guys enjoy your week, and whenever I'll see you in the next video, whenever that is. So bye.